Howdy, pilgrims. Hey, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we fought the Lone Knight and found out that Mares was actually the Bishop of the Deep. And this time, we'll be finishing off the thing. I'm good at words. We'll grab that support Sinclair, just to have everyone at level 55. And we move. News of the war's getting grimmer by the day. Sea terrors are coming, swarming. It's the day when the ocean-born calamity broke into Nayer's seemingly infinite starward growth.
Aren't you going to the surface, Mares? More and more people are beginning to age the sea, I hear.
I'm not. If I hear fall, it only means the surface is soon to follow. I think you ought to the surface too.
I'm thinking about it.
There weren't that many. People around me began to leave for the surface. I considered them to be close acquaintances. They all tried to convince me to leave with them. I fled my own in favour of the land didn't feel right. The foretold calamity descended. Dealt every blow to Nayar, but the surface suffered much worse. I had to help them. How can I not after hearing such a terrible thing has happened? I think I'll head to the surface.
Seriously, the surface? Think about it hard before you go. If you leave now, coming back might no longer be an option.
Every day must be a struggle for them. At least I don't have to fear for the immediate tomorrow. So it's my responsibility to provide help. Someone's better off than them, even by a little. I know, but if I don't go there to help, things will only get much more dangerous for the land dwellers.
Maybe that's dangerous, the very thing that will hurt you.
I still think I have to help them. I procured myself an Nayarian research vessel at cheap price to bring me to the land. I'm able to even submerge itself while moving. It's not exactly the best ship out there, but I normally wouldn't have given it even a second look. But I thought it would at least help me navigate the coastal sea. And respect this. The very first thing I witnessed on the surface is the bottomless hostility against the Nayar. They denied my and Nayar's offer to help. That's the reason I came from the sea. They denied my compassion, my research.
Get lost! We don't need your stupid research! You're from the same place as that calamity, aren't you? Do you really think we're so stupid that we trust you?
I confiscated my cat lists and tore my research apart. No, just summoned them against the calamity. I was devoured by the hatred born of the same calamity. And any compassion I gave them was repaid twofold in hatred and suspicion. The terrible conditions of this land transformed them into monsters, or was this always their nature? It wasn't long before the research vessel I brought from the Nayar was confiscated out of suspicion. A few weeks later, when I finally came to that, across that vessel by the beach, an uncanny name inscribed on the side, Rebellion de las Masas. And none of that was enough to stop me from continuing my research for the sake of the land dwellers. And there's so many trials and errors, somehow impede the sea terror's rapid evolution, to revive the Iberian soil contaminated by the nether sea brand. That work barely bore any fruit. And I let the days float as I watched by as the Inquisition over Zaire one by one, and my sea terror samples and research notes came into view. They all look completely different from one another, some of them being with fundamentally different physiologies. Even still, nothing stopped them from being us instead of I. For the first time, I became doubtful of my efforts to interrupt their evolution. Their tales were not entirely fabrications. Mares is bishop of the Church of the Deep. That automatically means they are sin in the eyes of the Inquisition regardless of their reasons. The more I studied them, the more I found them to be such compassionate, altruistic creatures. All they cared about was their survival, without even a hint of selfishness. Not some evil monsters from the sea. Mares, I can see that the seaborn may not be evil, but it doesn't matter what they are. Whether they are kindly life forms, or whether they're simply different forms of civilization, it doesn't matter. Because Iberia and her Inquisition does not define the seaborns as evil. Seaborns are our enemy. Of course, to human existence. But one thing to say as an Inquisitor. You, all of you, are my enemy. But it would be a good thing for the Inquisition if I were to leave for the city, wouldn't it? What do you say it's a good thing for us to toss a problem to another world? It'd be like abandoning our pride. To say the people of the city give you permission. As an Inquisitor, I can't let you do that. And don't really hope so about that either. You can wrap it in a box that says compassion all you want, but Mares, your course isn't exactly the direction I like to sail in. As the rest of the sinners prepare for battle in silent agreement with Ishmael's stand, Mares muttered with genuine disappointment. I didn't want to have to do this. Waves. I had no better choice, or better words to describe the horde of sea terrorists crashing into us. It's the only way it could have ended. Your words are composed entirely of your own color, and no one else's. Manager Dante, right? Do speak. We will hold the line and defend this place against the sea terrors rushing in from the rear. In the meantime, can you take down Mares and deal with the remaining sea terrors? Absolutely. The manager responded affirmatively. All operators will be drawing sea terrors to us. We need to take them all down. We just need to access the wall between the wave and the people of Limbus Company. Irene, I'd like for your help. Ask for your help as well. As for Almia, please assist Limbus Company just in case. Okay, then let the mission begin. I have no idea of the significance of like any of the characters that are in Rhodes Island, or if there is any significance to like any of them. But oh well. I'm only gonna have the Sinclair at the very end. Just because it's a borrowed unit. And I prefer not having to use the support unit if possible. Anyways, Mares as an antagonist is so interesting because, again, she does have that genuine compassion, and, like, she does genuinely seem like a good but misguided person. And it kind of fits that pretty much any aspect of the altruistic people that we've seen in the city at all. Any good, quote-unquote, good people that we've seen in the city. And kind of goes a lot with Philip's story and library, I guess. With the, that desire to help others being selfish. Being a inherently selfish desire, I should re-clarify. But at the same time, there is still another aspect of all of this that, again, matches with Philip, that being Carmen, the voice. And, first of all, fucking insane lore drop in the limited time collab event for Merceau. You get the insane lore drop of, oh shit, he's probably dealt with Carmen before. Of course, we don't know this. We're not going to know this for a little while. His Kanto is after Ryoshu's. So probably not for another around a year and a half. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, I'd say that to be safe. Probably, probably another full year. I'll just give it 1 year. Still a while until we actually get details with Merceau, but the fact that he has dealt with Carmen, and again, that reference to the sun famously in The Stranger, one of the few things that I do know about The Stranger is that Merceau, basically the second act of the story starts because Merceau shoots a guy because the sun was, well, not necessarily because the sun was bothering him, but the sun was bothering him, he shoots a guy, yada yada. Come across a cavern full of sunken ship remnants and golden treasures that have washed up inside. There are all kinds of unfamiliar sculptures and twinkling gold coins. It's a whole pile of treasures here. Records say here that this used to be a ship that sailed across Terra. It must be a ship built for conquest, built during the Golden Age of Iberia. It says that this is a golden chalice made in Sargon. You combine an armada of tall, proud sails, unparalleled technological innovation, and a certain king's greed, and you get this. Sound glory we can barely hope to retrieve now. These items would be extremely valuable outside, but none of them seem very helpful in the situation at hand. Should we continue to look just in case? Keep looking! We might find an ego gift! I guess I need one of those to pop. Senator Heathcliff picked out a golden compass from inside a leather bag. Inscription on the compass indicates that it is an artifact created during the era of grand expeditions. This artifact is still so intact. It is only a bridge made of items pulled from the group unconscious that are most appropriate for the fathoms. It may truly exist, but it may not in reality. I would consider the compass for a moment, tempted, or turning around, having accepted the fact that it probably isn't a real artifact. Gold forged compass? Ooh, that's fucking good. Holy shit. But yeah, you just like, out of nowhere, just like, hey, fuck you, Merceau. Merceau lore. Whoa, Merceau upon ye. Yeah, it's... Again, like, Maris is a very... And again, like, she does have her distortion, and, you know, from what I understand, the stories of Limbus and Arknights do kind of follow the same sort of things that would, you know, result in someone distorting, like mares, but, you know, not necessarily guaranteed. Yeah, I like the story. Sorry if I'm not talking that much. I'm still in a little bit of motivation low, but I need to finish this off, and also, my throat be hoity. So I'm just going to speed through this as well as the elite fight afterwards. You know, I probably should have been paying attention to that fight, but it's fine, we'll get a heal. Don't worry about it. Plus, only a few people died. Or Limbus, that's what we do. The ocean wind billowing between white buildings. Someone stands with a lamplight and looks around, and the bloom illuminating the piles of sea monster corpses. In the clear similarities between his and Irene's outfits, he must be an Inquisitor too. What are the civilians doing out here on the front lines? Inquisitors leading our evacuation. Sure.
The Inquisitor must have been leading you out of here. You seem quite a new Inquisitor. Do keep up the good work. But before you go, will you please take this down to the Inquisition? Please tell them that there was an Inquisitor who watched through the message trials and eventually paid his country his fate.
Lamp's bright and warm. It's what the Inquisitors of Iberia are fighting the ocean to keep lit. I'm gonna take the small but weighty lamp and continue. It's not bad. Center of what appears to be an arc symbolizing the city. Center of that brilliant golden light must be Mare's. So a quick break here. Alright, Doctor. Just need to take a quick breather. You should probably work on your cardio, Miss Ami might have to piggyback you around. Once we get back, I'll start working like Gulset suggested. Just manage if it ever comes to it, trust me with piggybacking. I'm good. Perhaps being in close proximity to Mare's vision of utopia in the center of light did something. Seaborns near us only gave a passing glance without attacking us. Something about the way they looked at us felt like they were concerned about us. Sinners couldn't help but look away with a funny feeling. Feel sorrow, regret, maybe these feelings are denials for all those times she spent agonizing over this. Can we really go back, Miss Mayers? We'll help her return. That's what we were here to do, after all. It's for us to prepare for a bit before moving on. Due toward the refracted light. Everyone, back up to full HP. Into Mayers' fathoms. Grab those. Grab you. Grab you. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, beat up, bop. Mayer's despair, the repulsiveness of people's ill intent, and the faint hope from the light found within. All kinds of emotions and memories rise to the surface of Almia's fathoms, then sink again. The same thoughts seep into me as well, unfiltered. The sins that people have committed just won't go away. Humanity's ill intent will propagate unimpeded too. But the ties that Miss Mayers is trying to so endouse it, devour humanity, their civilization, and the city they came from. I don't think that's the right way to go. As long as Dante and the people of Limbus Company refuse. It's not like the time I retrieved the ego. In place of the light, a speck of darkness casts a shadow. Strange power courses through before radiating toward the sinners. Get emotional connection. Chance to gain extra ego resources. Which is nice. And the collab ego, well, else you get buffed. Yearning Flotsam. This top thing, that has started to be a pretty general note, taking less damage from burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, and sinking. Not full, like not 90% high. Usually I think it's about 50 to start doing. Yeah. Another Z brand does exist. We'll have to watch out for that. I think we could pop room to yeah, let's just pop all the ego immediately. I don't want to corrode. That's something I would very much like to not do. That could be useful, sentencing from above. Because this does end up being a little bit of a horde fight early on. Body sack could be useful for similar reason. I'll just pop Pursuance immediately. Yeah. That should be fine. Hell yeah. What a load of damage. I just kind of wanted to let the music roll a little bit. Yeah. So she initially summons a bunch of monsters. then she will use Echoes of Respite and Echoes of Ascending. These are similar to Dulcinea's moves. They will buff allies if they hit them. So, could be a good idea to clash against. I would really like to not trigger the Basin Sea Reaper, but I have my suspicions that it's gonna happen anyways. Let's do that. Build up our SP a little bit. Our sanity. Hopeless. Really? Alright, whatever. That should be everyone clash with aside from the Reaper. Which again, ideally, we still ignore the Reaper for a little bit. Yeah, Spears aren't too difficult unless they're not paying attention. I think the Reapers are always a little bit of an issue, but... yeah, well, I want to be negative coin for this, for Roja. Throw some flames out. A little bit of damage, but the more important thing is just getting that to not be a thing. I'm good at word. We'll pop that. We should be fine to not have to use Tangle Cleaver for a little while. I think we should be good on that front. Let's go there, that, and then we just have 2 extra attacks for free. I guess we'll do like so. Clearing the path, my lord. Yeah, again, I mentioned this before, kind of disjointedly, mind. But I'm not really sure about, like, the best ways to use the collab ego. Like, I'm not sure if, for really any of them, you're, like, supposed to spam them, if they're supposed to be, you know, one and done. I was about to say who knows, there's people who know. But also, like, I don't really necessarily like following the meta. I don't know, I don't like doing off-meta stuff in anything. So now the Reaper is active. Do you have 3 Hysteria, no Magical Arcana? I think in this case... Do you have any protection against corroding? Not really, no. Let's see. I guess I'll just wait. I think that'll swap forms. I just don't want to corrode. With Deep Blue Charity. It's extra power for every nervous impairment on the target. Not every nervous impairment, but, you know. Trying to, like, read through. Will be good. Okay, well, I guess we are using Dawn to clash with Mares. That should be fine. The runners are super easy to deal with. Runners are... honestly, the runners might be, like, the second easiest enemy in the entire game. In my opinion. Obviously, aside from the Kanto 1 thugs, or no, they're not even Kanto 1. They're fucking whatever I forget exactly what the name of the prelude is, the prologue, whatever. I forget. Oh well. The Deep Blue Cherry just kind of progressively becomes more and more dangerous as nervous impairment builds up throughout the fight. It does build up throughout the fight, don't get me wrong. But right now it's just 1 damage each. So, not really anything for us to worry about particularly much. I'm not sure if we have the brand yet. If any brand going up. That'll probably be up soon. Okay. Tis. At this point, yeah, we'll do that. That's based off of envy residence. That's fine. Over 3 sinking. I'm guessing that Faust. Why doesn't Faust roll better against that? Whatever. We are at 40, so we can pop the Unbrilliant Glory. Run that. Let Heathcliff get rid of the brand. There is a Spewer, which Spewer under brand is quite scary. How exactly does it work? Is it at end of turn? Okay, does not look like it is at end of turn. It's right away. But that could also just be wrong. That should be... Are we... I have 2 people going after that aren't... Don't I? No? No, I don't. Huh. Wonder why there's still a slot open. That's attacking there. Weird. Oh well. Very nice. Not very nice. Then, if I'm correct, we should not be on the brand. Looks like that is correct. Pop out Queen of Hatred. Name of love and hate. Nature Arcana Slave! I will say, like, again, I mentioned this during the Walpurgis. Like, as much as I do think gameplay-wise, and looks-wise, I do prefer Night of Despair Roja, the animation quality on Queen of Hatred is so good. Like, obviously, you know, every ego is flashy, but Arcana Slave is just another level. God damn, that's strong. And again with Deep Blue Charity about to go off. Favorite goes down to Hopeless. Let's see. And we could pop a... No, even that's at hopeless. It's fucking nervous impairment. Just kind of can't get rid of it. You have prevent corrosion one time, correct? No, okay, never mind. If we had Lament more in Despair at full power right now, that'd be useful, but we don't. Sound Lament doesn't really roll all that well. We just use Unbrilliant Glory, so we don't have like any man in Scabbard. Yeah, we have 11. Yeah, because you're gaining... I think you're getting the full 9. And you're only getting 8 from that. See, like, clashing-wise, Roja is our best bet. But... she also... like, I would really like to not corrode. Really? Oh, it's a positive coin corrosion? That's why. Ew. And Contrial's positive coin as well. Pursuance is a random target. Tremaine one's self rolls, look at 20 something. 26. We'd have to rely on something not hitting. We don't have Yi Song, because what I could do if I had Yi Song here is use Crow's Eye View, lower the attack power same turn, but we do not have that option. This is an interesting conundrum, because that's going to do a fuck ton of damage. And again, there's really not much that we can do about that. Solid Lament, yeah, only rolls like a 12. Yeah. God, that's really annoying if that's a plus coin corrosion. That rolls a 28, but you roll a little bit higher. Ooh, actually... we roll a 33 on that? Ah, fuck, never mind, we're negative coin right now. Ooh. That's why high show packs is going to be too much. Yeah, this is quite the interesting situation here. Favor go down to hopeless because I don't think it counts the nervous impairment yet. Think we go someone after Roja. You don't really roll anything that well. You only roll a 22. Who's our second best? Heathcliff rolls like a 23. It's 25. I guess the question at this point is just how much sinking can we do? How much can we lower the sanity? Flick 2 sinking there. How much Thunder do you got? Probably none. Yeah. To remain oneself is definitely the collab ego that I understand the least. Rupture and burn. So we'll... I think I kind of just accept the damage from everyone else at this point. Bleed and tremor. It's... Negative coin would do a little bit of sinking. Yeah, it's all next turn. Some lament. What are the most dangerous ones that they're doing? You're under Nethersea brand. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's kind of our best bet. See how this goes. Do as much damage to mares. Try to see how much sinking we can get. And kind of just hope Heathcliff can manage. Problem is, I believe Heathcliff is on Dullahan, so he's not at max SP. $42. Ouchie. Now, I did notice Merceau's not moving. So the question is, did we reach the phase change? No. Shit. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I was right. It sure did hurt. No one died, though, shockingly. Problem is... we don't have any AoE. Our only AoE is either Indicant's Trial or Corroded Pursuance, which I really don't want to do. Let's see. Wild Hunt's being targeted by 2. You are targeting Hong Lu, and I think you're on top of... yeah, you're on the brand anyways. Oof. Oof. That's the scary one. I think I kind of just have to let all these hits go through. Yeah, Don's gotta die. Heathcliff's gotta die. We at least prevent the AoE attack from going through. Gregor might survive. Honglu might because of his passive. Oh! Okay, I think that is it. Yeah, okay. Better results than I expected, I will say. I expected a lot more death. A lot more death. I feel like next turn she's about to use that. Luckily, Command Meltdown does heal. I don't know how much bot, though. Okay, so 20% of max HP to us and the ally with the lowest HP percentage, which will be Honglu. I'm gonna not go after the Basement Sea Reaper. God damn, he's fucking rolling high. If the target is... No, it's he under. Go to that. We'll pop the Title Elegy as well. We'll run it to remain oneself. Heals their HP. I think we kind of just have to deal with that. Oh, well, maybe we have no option. Let's see. Would prefer getting rid of the second one. Oh, we had Merceau anyways. Yeah, that's fine. We can work with that. We slowly slide over to use Launcher. And then because we have Honglu on the field, Yi Song gets to use his skill 1. And then because of Ishmael having the synergy with Honglu, she also gets to use her skill 3. But just because she switches in, that's when she uses the launcher. I actually, like, I think I mentioned this before, High Show Team is very fun. It's all about, like, extra attacks, which is so cool. I love extra attacks in, like, anything. But, like, obviously there's, you know, like, you have the extra attacks. I still prefer the La Mancha Land team. Bloodfiend team is still my favorite team to play with, but I will say that it's still very fun, this high show. Okay, we do get the phase shift into phase 2, which arguably tougher? I don't know. If I shot since the last time we met, Fabi.
It's the characteristic of your sub race. You have an age to go.
How about you to the Church of the Deep?
Seaborns are indispensable in our preparation for the impending doom. Nothing, I mean nothing, else can ensure the survival of humanity. Thus, it would only be right for me to join hands with those who are able and willing to become Seaborns. Search for a way to prolong our existences.
You look to use the knowledge of the wise and talented as nourishment for the Seaborn. I don't want to do anything more than prolong our existences.
But is survival alone not enough? I thought a bishop of the church would share a majority of that belief with me.
Fabi, you and I both have put our faith in the Seaborns. But the word faith might mean something different for you than it does for me. Seaborns should be the object of our worship. We have to stand on equal ground as them, set our eyes on their natures. Please step aside. Desperation, sadness, sympathy. Mirrors emotions gush upward, carried by bubbles. Terra, a land in which the hatred for the difference has entrenched itself. A city A place in which people, crushed by the trials of lives, have surrendered to its absurdities. They both need the sea barns, reflected beneath the light. Hence, what do you wish, Miss Bears? Faust does not believe them to be necessary elements for the city. Even in the city, there are people who are searching for reasons to live on, dreaming of a better world. We all know it can't possibly be easy to change, but there has to be some kind of worth, value in that process alone, in the lives we lead with this in the city. What worth can there be to a life of the unkind? The kind of life humanity is doomed to exist in, where all we ever do is hurt and hate one another. Listen, efficient order, natural altruism, are both virtues many should never lose sight of. But there's no such thing as absolutes when it comes to the value of life. Survival is the right of all civilization, which means that it should never be up to others to define the worth of life, to argue for it. But what if there's no other way? Can you even understand what I'm saying? Some time had passed since I made farm work in my home. Unlike my prediction, Saybarn's evolution seemed to have lost its explosive progress, and Fabius seemed to be content just observing their slow development. Maybe it's because they're directionless, without a specific wish. Even still, Saybarns were the key to changing Terra, the land. To stand against the incoming calamity, we need this survivability and adaptability. And that humanity has turned to exhaustion to ill intent made for the Seaborn's blind selfless altruism toward their own. So I never stopped my studies. Something small but sharp continued to stab my frustrated heart. Stultified and unable to be resolved. If we were to lose even our senses of self and creed, similar into the stagnated great well, for the sake of survival, civilization had to be no more. For the sake of us, I had to be no more. The realization of that paradox made the first crack in my confidence that the Saybarns were the answer to the problem I buried at the land and immediately faced, and through the cracks the seeds start to sown. But I'd already come too far to find a path more beautiful than the Saybarn. Now I'm wasting time with these stupid ruminations. There has to be a way. Some kind of conditions Saybarns need to fulfill to retain their sense of selves, retain their individual hopes and wishes. I stood drifted atop the inundation of years I dedicated to this purpose, hold on to this precious hope, and steal my shaking heart. And that was the easy part. There are no better solutions. Then look away from the answer that lies right in front of me. All I need to do is find a way for the Saybarns to hope and wish, to have them each carry a sense of self. I just have to repeat myself to like a mantra, again and again. My drifting days came to an end when I found a new path, illumined by the strange light from across the sea. On that day, yes, the day when that faint blue light shone, a whisper visited me. Who's there? Whose voices? What? The answer, swept through the eons by people I didn't recognise, played over and over in my ears. The voice that spoke it was muffled but warm and beautiful. The light of the city. The hearts that were lost, the emotions that were forgotten, the sense of self that... No, that's enough from that. But I'd like to hear more about the light. The light that was sprouted from the 10 virtues. And the image that was where it drew in my mind was clearer and more beautiful than ever. Terra, the city, they both failed to find a way out of this bridle. If they're guttily satisfied with living on as they are, then... You can't change what you see by standing still. If you want to bring about a better world, then even if you may be lost in the ideals, you have to keep walking. Survival and worth of life. As I've never been too certain about either of their complicated ideas, I have no unflinching creed with which to convince her. It's not to say that the city has no need of the altruistic nature Maris wants to bring there. It's not to say that I have a better answer than the combination of Seaborn and the light. Even still, the emotions, the regrets, the conversations I found and collected over this journey alongside the sinners became my answer, and I take on. Honestly, I don't really know the city all that well either. My memory only goes back a year, and for what is practically my entire existence, I've been surrounded by the sinners in our adventure. Still, we want to keep trying. You're right, this city is an absurd, vicious place. Something new and horrible surprises me every other day, but... Mayor, is that light you spoke of? I don't think that's what protects the ego, the sense of self. To protect it, you have to first look unflinchingly both ways. The path that lies ahead and the one that you've walked. Then you confront them both. I can't be right. The light has to... You're just walking based on what you heard about the city and the light, ain't that right? I can be so confident that the light will be able to protect the Seaborn sense of selves. And that's just what you want to believe. I think it's a distinct possibility. Even if the light can do what you hope it does, Maris, it won't change anything. Turning our nature's kind by transforming us into Seaborns, a convenient method like that isn't our path. Because the sense of self protected like that, the kind nature attained like that, wouldn't be our own. It'd be yours, Maris. Protecting your own sense of self, being compassionate and kind, it's a path of unbearable suffering. We might fail some days, despite our best efforts. Some days we'll be forced to confront the sins of our past and suffer. Verily, not one of us as we are now may see the culmination of that path. Yet I can hardly find within myself to simply leave it all in thy hands without so much as trying. You're saying that the Seaborns can't be the answer I've always sought? It doesn't make much sense if you think about it, Maris. Those sea monsters don't even know what self means, but they show no hesitation before sacrifice. If you're to introduce the sense of self to those sea monsters, that substance you want to be no more. It is she-born safe distortion, with not a sea-born. Mentally anguish contemplating distortion. If Mary's wish to achieve an altruistic world, then her desire has to be that she doesn't want her efforts to become meaningless. Seaborns may be the perfect answer for some people.
Which example favors. It seems clear to me that he was precisely his wish.
But that doesn't seem to align with yours. Found no answer, Miss Maris. You're telling me I have to go back to wandering for so much time again? Search for that new answer? You won't be alone in that path. Walking together and relying on one another, and it won't feel as long. Trying to carry such a heavy burden all by yourself, Miss Maris, it's such a prideful thing to do.
Of course, there's a lot of context that we are missing from not having done Canto 8 yet. But, you know, details. We'll be fine. I am quite worried about undulating waves. But, ooh. I'm gonna pop Tears of the Untarnished Blood just as a start to things. Yeah. If we go something along those lines, why does that make you then hopeless? Yeah, this fight confuses me with how it works sometimes. In some ways about whatever. Wording. Yeah, I think we let that 44 damage to Yi Song. I can probably take that. I mean, I could redirect to Hong Lu. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. It's kind of determining our initial plan of action that's a little bit on the tricky side. Oh, that's right, I forgot about... okay. Forgot the gimmick for a moment. She gains a bunch of shield, and really, for the most part, our goal is just to break through that shield. Once she does, she will get staggered and lose protection, because I think she has protection right now. She might not. But yeah, our goal is just to break down that shield, and then after that point we'll be mostly good. We'll be able to do a lot of damage at least. Shocking that we actually hit a heads at -40. This is really just who misses their 5% first, and she does. Whew! Jesus Christ, that took a lot of damage. Yeah. Gregor's SP wasn't very good. Isn't very good. He's about to die, I think. Not quite. Oh, I entirely forgot about Lord Guard. Tides carry away the windows to Maris' past, soon devouring them beyond vision.
Those mayors in the dungeon of the Fathoms, no, the ocean itself is fusing into one. Majority of distortions encountered by the bus team have assumed a form generally recognized as an organic entity. However, there's nothing preventing distortions formed from breaking that boundary and taking a different shape, as it may vary by the individual's desires. If a distortion is allowed to exacerbate undeterred, it may eventually corrode this very space in which we stand. As we were taking some time to catch our breaths, a few small machines tumbled to the ground, shot from one of the trembling fathoms. It was one of those mystery machines in Mary's home that we saw when we peered into our memories. The machines continued to whir loudly as though the waves broke them, so there were various apparatuses attached to the sockets on their sides. Since if they appear, yet how numerous they are. Well, you know, maybe she's similar to one of those fixer fellas who was always hell-bent on picking up every cutting-edge workshop tech. It says a little handy down there. As an elderly and similar structure to the hand of the saint the Inquisitor brought. Then shut this fantastically wonderful machine be assistance in our battles. One down there seems to have their hands full holding the line against the tide of sea terrors. Probably take out just one and leave the rest to help them out. For quick discussion with Sarah, we decided to take just one of the machines. I am... Healing boost would be nice. Hand of the Saint. I gotta double check what all of these effects actually do. Trying to see exactly what all these will do if I can find out. Let's see. Okay, I think the best... I'll go over what all of them do. The top one will give you 20% more max HP, and you'll heal 40% more from skills, passives, and buffs. The second one, when activating Hand of the Saint, it activates twice, or activates once again next turn, so essentially you can keep it going. And on turn start, you gain offense level up and defense level equal to the number of times it was removed during the encounter, up to 4. It's not the best, +1 clash power, essentially. Second one, or the third one, will remove the highest stagger threshold, and when 1 time per sinner, you will immediately recover from stagger after being staggered on that second one. The last one here, you'll gain 2 power up and 2 damage up at the start of each turn for 3 turns, either at start or when they substitute in. And this last one, the Netherseed brand, no longer inflicts nervous impairment or deals damage to allies. Nervous impairment is the real issue with this fight. It means decontamination counteracting the Netherseed brand toxicity. I don't really understand how it works, but that sure sounds helpful. The real problem is the nervous impairment, because she gets like everything buffed up by us having nervous impairment. So, you know, it would be nice to not. That said, yeah, things are still not looking the best for us. I don't know what... Oh, right, he just uses Savage when he has Savage. Pop another Command Meltdown. We will... remain oneself. Be fine. Go with that. Pop there. I'm not feeling very hopeful about Greg's odds right now. I'm gonna be real with the Chief. I feel like Bind doesn't really help too much. I think it'll probably just send out another Tidal Elegy. Like, ideally, Honglu can survive a little bit longer just to kind of build up the...
to build up his flower brand. I forget exactly what it's called. Build up, do more damage when the end pops. Luckily, Command Meltdown is a pretty good heal, all things considered. 62 damage. What the fuck? Almost down to 1,000. Yeah, just a hair over 1,000 at this point. That was better than I thought. I was absolutely expecting that to not even break a single coin, but sure enough, did break one. That's quite a bit of sinking on her right now. That's really useful for us. That's so nice. Yeah, getting her SP down is so nice for us. Oh my god. Minus 34. I mean, it's only minus 14 at this point. Now we have some intrigue. I think it would be the end right now. No, okay, he just uses Inception again. Ro just still has the... fuck, actually Faust has the least brain, but she's staggered right now. Greg does not have enough Man and Scabbard to clash with. Title Elegy is neutral. Goes up to dominating for fucking reasons. I think to remain oneself, yeah, it does remain struggling. I'm actually gonna do that. And actually, we get favored on the basic? Really? Get +2 base power, so 8 to 16 was 9 to 17. Foot 1 sinking, 3 sinking essentially. That does 3, but in a reverse direction. Fucking sure, why not? We, we want to go like that. And let's give ourselves another stab in the chest. Make our end even stronger. Nice. 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 Very nice. Thank you, sinking. I probably need to rebuild my sinking squad eventually. I don't know how well we'll survive this. Oh, very well, actually. Oh shit, never mind. Scratch that. Oh,
Actually, still kind of fine. Probably still should get rid of the Nether Sea brand, even though it doesn't really do too terribly much to us. I'm so surprised Merceau is alive, by the way. Merceau absolutely should be dead at this point. That's tragic. The fact that Merceau... Oh, there we go. I could have sworn she had less shield last turn. And we're gonna get like no heads. Still a nice, 100 damage. 127 actually. Ooh, fancy. Oh, that's why people exploded, because they're nervous impairment. It's not enough. I have to double check exactly how all this works. Oh wait, he didn't fucking... He hadn't exploded yet, because... I see. Because Lord Honglu has a unique effect with... What is it exactly? Tears of Tarnished Blood. Why didn't he use it at all? Whatever. I don't know why it's not... Whatever. It's Crow's Eye's view. And... Where is open? Sure, why not? That was very handy. Very nice, very nice. I still don't think we break the shield this turn. I think we do next. Because I don't think Curse-Fit Butcher Blade is going to do quite enough. I think it'd be a little short. But it'll be close. No, it does get enough. Alright then. Let's do that. Yeah, let's title Elegy. 77. That's a minimum of even less. Something like that. Thunderer would corrode. Which remain oneself would corrode. Most likely. Oh well. Oh, sorry. It wasn't, she has protection. She gains fragile. That's what it was. Well, shit.
I fucked up. Okay. I could have fucked up worse. That's what matters. I didn't realize that somehow, all my time playing this game, have not realized that the corrosion turn also counts as whatever. Also counts as an actual corrosion. And that still hits. Ooh. That's actually... Yeah, we'll have Roja be the one to bash him in. I trust that a little bit more than Spice Bush. What the fuck? Why do you have so much shield again? I didn't realize you did that twice. Oh, this is a huge problem. So really... I have no idea how much of the end is going to do. Okay, so it just doesn't mention that it ends turn. It does end turn, but it just decides not to tell you. I did not realize that you had shield. I kept shield. How about SlayerMathis? Who's unopposed? The Hongler. What if we just land of illusion? Thank you. And thankfully, Mare still does have a solid amount of sinking. We'll be able to get her down to negative 45 sanity, no problem. Well, not necessarily no problem, but we'll be able to do it. Alright, the end will pop next turn. Fuck. Well, shit. That has made things significantly more difficult. God, one clash win and she's all the way back up to 45 SP. Luckily, we bring her right back down. What the fuck? What
Alright. Just kind of have to see how this goes. Oh. It just still has so much goddamn shield left. Who's that going after? Let's go after Sinclair. Whoops. Okay, go Hex Nail. Fuck off. Fuck off. Really? What the fuck? Really? Really? I still genuinely think that this fight is easier than the Lone Knight, but really? Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do about that? Like, it got to a point where we just could not do anything about that. Fucking hour into the fight. God, I don't even know what to do about that. Just because that took the motivation out of me, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to switch to my main and just view the theater for the post-fight and the close of this, and I'll fucking do this off screen. So just give me a moment. Alright, I'm very glad that I actually could do this. If I'm missing a little bit of dialogue, whoops, but also, like, you can understand why I would be frustrated after that. Anyways, it's true that people scrutinize others for differences to find something they can hate. But it's also true that it's often those very differences that people look up to. And admiration usually goes hand in hand with overestimation. Yeah, and Miss Maris admires these two unknowns. Seaborns in the light. She thought that would be the solution to everything. Maris, do you still want to go to the city? Nah. I'll marry Nier and Terra. Broaden my studies, and I'll talk more. To find a new path toward realizing my wish. As for what will happen now, Miss Maris, we're gonna need to have a long talk with the Inquisition, but we'll help too. We'll help you in your search for that path if we can. The great arc built from the city crumbles. Light fades and gives ways to shadow. And we found ourselves back aboard the vessel Massus. Battle complete? Vessel Massus, it's slowing down. How's Miss Maris? Here, unconscious. The mental strain seems to have taken its toll. It all happened inside the dungeons of the Fathoms, but it can't have been too easy on our mind to send so many waves after us. What'll happen to Miss Mayers now? First, we'll wait for the Inquisition's ruling, then we'll bring her to Rhodes Island. Her efforts were misguided, but she also had Terra's best interest at heart. Together, I'm sure we can discuss a better way forward.
What if she sentenced to death?
Then we need to offer a different proposal. We can consider when we get to it, Doctor. It's finally over. All we have left to do is go back. As we're preparing to leave with our hearts much lighter than they were earlier.
Hold on, everyone. Something's rapidly approaching us.
A low, thrumming roar vibrates the air as a strange shadow looms over the ship.
Where did the shade come from?
It's almost as if driven by instinct, Ishmael takes the radio from Gregor and runs to the control room. Something must have clicked to notice his head as she also turned and ran after Ishmael. Those two are running to the bridge. Brace, grab onto something! Ah, bollocks. Malcolm and I brought before the finish line.
Doctor, Dante has advised we grab onto something.
I see, they're preparing to turn the ship around. Everyone brace for impact. Stay alert, something's coming. The ship leaned heavily as it hurriedly turned portside, and I caught a glimpse of a massive shadow gliding just beneath the water's surface, right where the ship was a second ago. It's a Seaborn, about the size of no, slightly larger than the vessel Masses. Amia's communicator buzzed with Ishmael's voice. The currents are going wild. Something's causing these currents to go wild. Try best to maintain evasive moves for as long as possible, but can't do this forever. The situation does not improve. We have to take the vessel Masses to cross the dimensional door. So Rhodes Island have a way out of this quandary.
Not at the moment, but
we have to come up with one and fast. Doctor, does that anything come to mind? Should figure out why the Seaborn's coming after us. Copy that, I'll focus on seriously the ship, so keep us updated. With that, the ship immediately begins a sharp turn, narrowly dodging the ponderous body of the Seaborn as it swims by. Can't just take the whole ship across the dimensional door, we're not the only ones on it. But the sea's simply too wild to turn around and let the others leave. It sounds like it's obsessed with the ship. Just why could it possibly be coming after the ship all of a sudden? Could be that Fabius' order? It's coming after me. Scotty, you?
Yeah, and there I mean, an abyssal hunter.
As though to prove it, the giant beast began to charge against the bow of the ship the moment Scotty repositioned herself there. What are the abyssal hunters, and why are they so gung-ho about trying to kill you? Abyssal hunters are those who hunt sea terrors and seaborns. Of course, this isn't based on any emotions, just vengeful or resentment. It's Scotty's. Well, that's not important right now.
Mary said they're solely targeting Scotty.
Operators of Rhodes Island are heavily fatigued at this moment from their long defense against the waves and the dungeons of the Fathoms. The same can be said of us and Miss Amia, who battled mares in the meantime. To engage the Seaborn in particular circumstances. Oh! Something shakes the vessel Moss once again. What's this now? Is there more? There are indeed multiple entities surrounding our ship, however. A violent destructive sound crashed through the waves that toward vessel Mosses. Past the sudden wall of mist there was. We're lucky. Or was it simply how it was supposed to go?
Ishlama!
Sir Knight! Two Seaborns. It's gonna be fine, Miss Inquisitor. It's the same night we fought earlier. I doubt he'll be able to stop himself from charging that giant of a sea monster. Like Holmlu said, the knight charged straight at the giant rough wave of the great Seaborn as though he hardly noticed our presence. If we can help the knight repel that Seaborn, we might just have a shot at sending Limbus Company back to the dimensional door and escaping aboard the vessel Mosses ourselves. Can everyone still move?
I'm almost at my limit, but I can still move.
Got a plan and I'd like for everyone to trust me on this. Think it was so bad outside after you had entered the portal?
That's time for the hunter to get to work.
A bright ray of light from Irene's lamp shines upon those atop the deck, while Scotty leaps tall into the air using the ship's bow as her launching pad. The operators each scattered to their appropriate positions as commanded by the doctor. Ishmael and Otis both exited the decks as well, presumably having found someone to steer the ship.
Okay to have you two out there?
Sculpsit, didn't know about the seafaring takeover. It's quite as far from ocean. It was good enough that it was reasonable that I was first to leave the ship's steering to here and descend to the decks for our return.
Doesn't seem like we'll be able to bid you all goodbye.
You're sure we're gonna be all okay? Stay a little longer and help.
I appreciate the sentiment, I really do, but
Amia pointed toward the dimensional door, which had shrunk significantly smaller since the first time we saw it.
You don't have much time. I wonder if it was only supposed to open for a set period of time, or what if it's closing now because our work here is done?
There was precious little we could do to learn about it now, but it was obvious that our time here was coming to an end. Thanks, Amia. We would have been lost for a while in this world if it weren't for Rhodes Island's help.
Well, thanks to you, and we should be able to sufficiently study the dimensional door before we return.
And say goodbye to that beer and sea breeze, I guess. You have any idea how big the pile of paperwork is going to be at the Inquisition? Meredith, try not to drop into a beer next time you got that. Sure, that's all so nicely put in our own worlds. As the great Seaborn briefly faltered at the combined might of Scotty and the Knight, the ship's bow managed to stop inches from the dimensional door. Manager, now's your chance to the dimensional door!
Someday I hope we can meet again.
She'll take her leave. Return to the city. The sea had turned into a brutal battlefield, terrible roars contending with another. After taking one final look at Rhodes Island and defending the vessel Mosses, we leaped into the pitch-black darkness at the center of the dimensional door. Swept away by the tides of consciousness. river draws up my memories and consciousness, sublimating them away. Then... What is this? Is this Yihongwan? I look around to see the sinners strewn about the room, dozing off. I see Heathcliff crash like this all the time, but how did everyone crash at the same time, sleeping against the walls? A bizarre sensation that was something truly was amiss crawled up my spine. You have come to. Now that you have come to, I request that you continue to rest in your chamber. Your presence here makes it difficult to conduct cleaning activities in areas adjacent to your body. We just came to the dimensional door after roads? You were transferred here after the LCCA discovered your company unconscious at the entrance of a Bobby Corp branch. I feel like I just went through a memorable experience, but I can't recall what. There was a hole in my memory, and a strange, emotional tug in my heart, and an ego I don't ever recall extracting. Yoshinante, prithee, avail me of about 5 more minutes. Scheduled morning training dummies will wake in 5 minutes. The bizarre sensation naturally settles. What was that abnormality? What just happened? I don't have any answers to either of those questions, but... Where's Sod? She said something about how there's been a delay or something. I couldn't find Sod, who's been bringing us odd jobs here and there during our stay anywhere in Yihongyuan. But on this, we did find a note filled with various requests in a letter, both of which were left behind by Sod. We've got a distortion contract. Come on, time to keep. You're not gonna lounge around until we got a message from HQ, right? Are you alert to giving us time off or something? In that moment, a certain voice briefly surfaces from the abyss of my memories before sinking again. There's no such thing as absolutes when it comes to the value of life. Which means, it should never be up to others to define the worth of life, to argue for it. Worth of life. I don't quite recall who said that, or even where I heard it from. Honestly, I don't even understand exactly what it's supposed to mean. Can't change what you see by standing still. If you want to bring about a better world, then even if you may be lost in the ideals. Even still, some of those words left a lingering impression on my heart. You have to keep walking. Unable to sit still, I got up from my seat and began waking the sinners one by one. I don't think we can get anything done here. On your feet, guys, time to get to work. The sinners each began waking up, some of them looking around to get their bearings. Like they were just pulled out of a long dream. So yeah, that's how they justify the stuff being essentially non-canon, quote-unquote. It's still, like, all this stuff that happened, but it is all in the sense of eventually they forgore, they got sleepy. But that will do it for this time, and next time we will begin the next intervallo, I believe. But until then, see you guys later.